Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Aurora online classes. Let's resume the class and proceed further. In my previous class, I taught you that Maddie felt very guilty. She was sorry for her behavior. Both Peggy and Maddie went to Wanda's house, but they did not find Wanda there. So they came back slowly from there. They came back with a disappointed heart. They were still sad and depressed. She took a decision that she won't remain a mute spectator. She would oppose anyone tries to make fun of anyone just for his or her funny name or funny looks. Now, they came back. They did not see Wanda there. They did not find Wanda there. Then they decided to write a letter. Actually, Maddie was very upset that she didn't get even a chance to say sorry. She was feeling sorry. Go ahead from here. On Saturday, Maddie spent the afternoon with Peggy. They were writing a letter to Wanda Petronsky. It was just a friendly letter, underline it, telling about the contest and telling Wanda she had won. They told her how pretty her drawings were, underline it, and they asked her if she liked where she was living and if she liked her new teacher. They had meant to say that they were sorry, underline it, but it ended up with their just writing a friendly letter, the kind that they would have written to any good friend, and they signed it with lots of X's for love. They mailed this letter to Boggins Heights, writing please forward on the envelope. Days passed and there was no answer, but the letter did not come back. So maybe Wanda had received it. Perhaps she was so hurt and angry she was not going to answer. You could not blame her. Weeks went by, still Wanda did not answer. Peggy had begun to forget the whole business, underline it. And Maddie put herself to sleep at night making speeches about Wanda, defending her from great crowds of girls who were trying to tease her with her, how many dresses have you got? And before Wanda could press her lips together in a tight line the way she did before answering, Maddie would cry out, stop! Then everybody would feel ashamed the way she used to feel. So they came back empty-handed. They did not see Wanda there. Wanda had already left the place where she was living earlier. So on Saturday, both Maddie and Peggy decided to write a letter. And this was a friendly letter. So they wrote a friendly letter to Peggy, telling her in that letter, they told her that she had won the contest. She is the winner of the contest. They mentioned in the letter. Apart from this, they also mentioned in the letter that her drawings are excellent. All her drawings were excellent. All her drawings were exotic. All her drawings were beautiful and wonderful. This is what they mentioned in the letter to Wanda. Moreover, through that letter, they asked Wanda about the new place. They asked Wanda about the new teacher. They asked Wanda about the new school. And then they ended up their letter with their sign with lots of love to her. Means at last they signed their letter with lots of love to Wanda. And actually they mailed this letter to Boggins Heights. because they know that Wanda was living at Boggin's site earlier, and they mailed this letter at the address of Boggin's Heights, and on the envelope they wrote "Please forward," so that if the postman comes there, the postman may be aware of the new residence of Wanda. That is why they wrote on the envelope "Please forward." Now many weeks, many days passed, and with the passing of the days and weeks, Peggy had almost forgotten all the whole affair. She had forgotten the whole affair. But this case was not with Maddie. Maddie was still in the grip of guilt. She was still guilt-ridden. She felt sorry for Wanda. And she had assumed that Wanda might have got the letter. Now, when she went to bed, her mind was obsessed with Wanda. She always thought too much about Wanda, and this was because of her guilt. She had realized that she remained silent. She did not stop Peggy from teasing her. She did not protest Peggy from making fun of her. So this was her guilt, and this guilt led him to think too much about Wanda. And she had decided, as I said earlier, that Maddie had decided that she won't allow anyone to make fun of anyone for having funny name or funny face. So she used to imagine, she used to think a lot about Wanda. She used to think that she used to recall the previous sight of Wanda. She used to recall the days when Wanda used to be in the schoolyard and she used to get surrounded by all the girls. She used to see all the girls surrounding Wanda, and she used to see all the girls making fun of Wanda, and she would come and tell them to go away from here, and she would defend Wanda. She imagined all these things, that she is defending Wanda from all the girls, and she is stopping all the girls from making fun of Wanda. This was his imagination. So she used to think about Wanda. This shows that she was feeling uneasy. This shows that she was feeling guilty. She felt guilty too much. So she used to think like that about Wanda. That Wanda is surrounded by girls. Girls are making fun of Wanda, and she goes there and she stops the girls from making fun of her. This was his imagination. This was her way of feeling sorry. This was her way of repenting, regretting. She was regretting her behavior. She was feeling sorry for her misbehavior. She was feeling sorry for being silent and not opposing or not stopping Peggy from making fun of her. This was happening. She was thinking like that. She was imagining like that just because of her guilt. Now it was Christmas time and there was snow on the ground. Christmas bells and a small tree decorated the classroom. On the last day of school before the holidays, before the Christmas holidays, the teacher showed the class a letter she had received that morning. On the last day before the Christmas holidays, Miss Mason once again got a letter, and she read this letter to the class. What did Miss Mason this time round tell the students? On the last day of the school before Christmas holidays, and there was the atmosphere of Christmas holidays all around. All the walls, seals, even the classroom was also decorated. Even the shops, even the surrounding areas were also decorated with Christmas tree, with balloons, with festoons. Everywhere there was the atmosphere of festivity and everybody was in the festive mood. They were waiting for the Christmas to come. So she came on the last day of school before Christmas holiday. She came with a letter and she told the class, "You remember Wanda Petronsky, the gifted little artist who won the drawing contest? Well, she has written me and I am glad to know where she lives because now I can send her medal. I want to read her letter to you." The class sat up with a sudden interest and listened intently. Means they started listening to the letter. She said that, "Do you know about a good artist of our school who was studying here previously? She was Wanda Petronsky." Means she told the class that she has got a letter from Wanda Petronsky. Earlier she got a letter from Wanda's father, and this time round Miss Mason got a letter from Wanda, and she said that now it is easy for her to send this medal to Wanda at her new address. And all the the students of that class were very curious to know about Wanda. They had realized their mistakes. They had realized that they had misbehaved with Wanda. They had not understood, but now it was clear that all of them understood that Wanda was a good artist and she had a rare talent of drawing and coloring. She had exceptional skills of coloring and drawing and coloring. Now the letter goes like this. Everybody sat silently and started listening to the letter. "How, dear Miss Mason, how are you and room 13? Please tell the girls they can keep those 100 dresses because in my new house I have 100 new ones all lined up in my closet. I'd like that girl Peggy to have the drawing of the green dress with the red trimming and her friend Maddie to have the blue one. For Christmas I miss that school and my new teacher does not equalize with you. Merry Christmas to you and everybody. Yours truly, Wanda Petronsky." So now this time round, Miss Mason got a letter from Wanda Petronsky and she read this letter to the class. All the students were sitting silently and they listened to the letter very carefully and with great interest. Actually, in that letter, she mentioned that she offered all the 100 dresses that she had drawn to be given to the students of the class. Wanda was very generous. She was a large-hearted girl. She mentioned in that letter that the 100 designs for 100 dresses that she had made, all these dresses should be given to the students of room number 13. And she also wished that the green dress with red trimmings. Trimmings means if it is having red trimmings means ribbon and laces. So actually there were the drawing was of blue and green, and she requested Miss Mason to give the drawing of blue dress with the red trimmings to Peggy, and the drawing of green dress she requested means she would like Miss Mason to give the green design of green dress with red trimmings to Peggy, and the blue design for blue dress should be given to Maddie. So she requested Miss Mason at first that the 100 dresses should be given to the students of room number 13, and the design of green dress with red trimmings should be given to Peggy, and the blue one should be given to Maddie. Actually, she was a large-hearted girl. She was a very generous girl. She was always concerned about others. She had no ill feelings. She had no bad feelings for anyone. She was above petty considerations. She was above jealousies, petty jealousies. She was out of jealousy. She did not have any sense of jealousy. She was not jealous of anyone. This shows her generosity. So she offered the green dress to Peggy and the blue dress to Maddie. And apart from this, she wished everyone a happy Christmas. And in that letter she mentioned that she still missed that school. She still missed her school, and she still missed all her classmates, and she still missed all her classmates, her school, her teacher. And she mentioned in the letter to Miss Mason that her new teacher is not like Miss Mason. Ma'am, our new teacher is not like you. So this shows great love and respect of Wanda towards her classmates, towards her class teacher, Miss Mason. So she was loving, and she did not have any ill feeling, bad feeling, ill will against or about anyone. She was a large-hearted girl. She was generous, and she showed her generosity by offering the green and blue dresses to Peggy and Maddie and other 100 dresses to the rest of the students. This is an example of generosity. She was generous. Generous means kind-hearted, large-hearted, with a supporting nature. One who thinks about others, one who helps others, one who is kind to others is called generous. So this is an act of generosity. On the way home from school, Maddie and Peggy held their drawings very carefully. All the houses had wreaths and holly in the windows. Outside the grocery store, hundreds of Christmas trees were stacked, and in the window, candy, peppermint sticks and cornucopias of shiny transparent paper was strung. The air smelled like Christmas. There was the atmosphere of Christmas all around, and light shining everywhere reflected different colors on the snow. Boy, said Peggy, this shows she really likes us. It shows she got our letter, and this is her way of saying that everything is all right, and that's all. That's that. I hope so, said Maddie sadly. She felt sad because she knew she would never see the little tight-lipped Polish girl again, and couldn't ever really make things right between them. She went home and she pinned her drawing over a torn place in the pink flowered wallpaper in the bedroom. The shabby room came alive from the brilliancy of the colors. Maddie sat down on her bed and looked at the drawing. She had stood by and said nothing, but Wanda had been nice to her way anyway. Tears blurred her eyes, and she gazed for a long time at the picture. Then hastily she rubbed her eyes, studied it intently. The colors in the dress were so vivid that she had scarcely noticed the face and head of the drawing, but it looked like her. Maddie, it really looked like her own mouth. Why it really looked like her own self? Wanda had really drawn this for her. Excitedly, she ran over to Peggy. Peg, she said, let me see your picture. What's the matter? Asked Peggy as they chattered up to the room where Wanda's drawing was lying face down on the bed. Maddie carefully raised it. Look, said Ryu. That's you, she exclaimed, and the head and the face of this picture did look like Peggy. What did I say, said Peggy. She must have really liked us anyway. Yes, she must have, agreed Maddie, and she blinked away the tears that came every time she thought of Wanda standing alone in that sunny spot in the schoolyard, looking stolidly over at the group of laughing girls after she had walked off, and after she had said, sure, 100 of them all lined up. On the way home from school, actually, they brought back their drawings. Both Peggy and Maddie brought their drawings back. Which drawings? The drawing of green dress with red trimmings was for Peggy, and the drawing of blue dress was for Maddie. So both the girls brought the drawings of their dresses carefully with them. And then Peggy realized that she was sorry. Peggy realized that she had committed a mistake. Peggy realized her mistake. Peggy was also filled with guilt. And she said, this shows that Wanda likes us. Wanda was a good artist and she was a good girl. She liked us. They were sorry for making fun of Wanda. But Wanda was not like that. And then when Maddie came back, she was still in the grip of guilt. She was still feeling guilty of her misbehavior, for being silent, for not stopping Peggy from making fun of Wanda. She came, and what did Maddie do with her drawing of what did Maddie do with the drawing of the blue dress? She held it properly and she pinned the drawing. Who pinned the drawing? Actually, Maddie came and she pinned her drawing in the pink flowered wallpaper. So she pinned the drawing on the wallpaper. And she looked very carefully at the drawing. And when she looked very carefully at the drawing, she found that this drawing made by Wanda had the face and head which looked like Maddie. So when Maddie looked at the drawing of her green dress made by Wanda, which she had pinned up on the wallpaper, she observed it and found that the face and head of that drawing looked like Maddie. This was the face and head of the drawing of the blue dress looked exactly like the face and head of Maddie. So she got too much excited and she ran over to Peggy. Maddie ran over to Peggy, and actually Peggy had kept it on her bed, and then she went there and she asked Peggy to see her picture. She went there and told, Peggy, show me your picture. And both the girls, Peggy and Maddie, went to see the picture. And then Maddie told Peggy, look Peggy, have a look. Look at this picture, look at this drawing very carefully. This is the drawing of green dress with red trimmings, and the drawing of green dress with red trimmings is for you. And please have a look at the drawing. See the face and head of this drawing, Peggy. This is what Maddie told Peggy. Please look at Peggy. Look at the face and head of this drawing. And Peggy saw it. And then Maddie said, the face and head of the drawing looked like you. Means the face and head of the drawing looked like your face and head. So it is you, Peggy. And this is especially meant for you, and the blue one was meant for me. Wanda was really a nice girl. She was really a wonderful artist. And she had offered these two drawings of green as well as blue, respectively, for both of us. So this is clear that she was a large-hearted girl. She did not have any ill feelings about them or about anyone, though she was discriminated. The children discriminated her on the basis of having a funny name. They discriminated her on the basis of her appearance and funny name. But Wanda was different from all these girls. Wanda was a unique girl, a great artist, and above all, she was a good and great human being. She might have felt bad. Of course, she might have felt bad. But in spite of it, in spite of discrimination, in spite of asking unpleasant and uncomfortable questions by Peggy, she did not take all these words to her heart. And she showed her greatness. Wanda showed her greatness. Wanda showed her generosity. Wanda showed by offering them the drawings of these two dresses. So Wanda was really great. She was really generous. She was a large-hearted girl. She was above all these small and unimportant things. She was out of all these things. She was away from any kind of jealousy or hatredness. So she did not have any sense of hatred. She did not have any sense of jealousy. Means she was not jealous of anyone else. And she was really a wonderful artist. Above all, she was a good and great human being. Thank you very much, students. This is all for today, and I hope whatever I have taught you is clear to you. I have tried my level best to make each and everything clear to you. Dear students, I would like to give a piece of advice to each one of you to go through the books properly in order to get the better concept and understanding of the lesson. Till then, be happy, stay blessed, and with this, your lesson comes to an end, and I'll come back with a new lesson for you. Till then, stay blessed. Thank you very much.